And welcome back into the Enrichment Sports Source. This segment brought to you by Madisonville Marine. Great deals right now. Factory rebates of up to $1,500 on select models of G3 boat. Get this one. Rebates of up to $3,000 on select models of Skeeter boats. Plus, you can get a free extended 2-year warranty on Yamaha outboard motors. Typically, they are outdoors. If you want to have one indoors, you can. But Yamaha outboard motors, great deals always at Madisonville Marine, but especially right now as they roll toward the boat show, which is coming up into February, 1st of March right there. We'll tell you more about that the closer we get. But Madisonville Marine, as a matter of fact, we have somebody on the set who went to Madisonville Marine, bought himself a G3 boat, and that's the next member of our panel, Bob Hodge. Bob, a freelance contributor to the Knoxville News Sentinel. Thanks for joining us.
Glad to be here.
All right, and glad to be in your Madisonville Marine G3 boat.
Had it hooked up and was going to the lake this week, and then just decided it was too cold.
Yeah, I understand that. All right. Want to let folks know, Friday on Sports Talk, I said that Isaiah Victor would be here today. The weather that is rolling in. Here's the thing about Isaiah, and one thing I like about this show is, for the most part, we like each other. Some of us just don't, but Isaiah is driving down from Kentucky, to be with us twice a month, which we really appreciate. With the weather coming in, we tell him, best you not make it down. So Isaiah not here today, but next week we'll be joined by Don DeVoe, who's back in town next week. So Don DeVoe will be with us, Mark Pankratz will be here, and we'll have Isaiah on another date. Briefly, guys, I want to turn our attention, before we get back to basketball and some of the bigger SEC questions, I want to turn our attention to some of this nonsensical uniform stuff that's been out there. Everybody talks about uniforms. I want to take a look at what was done in the bowl situations. Let's start here. Now, this is typically what Ohio State should look like. Now, I hate Ohio State like there's no tomorrow, but they have a classic traditional uniform. By the way, look at the left there. That's Eddie George in '95. We wonder why there are more injuries in sports. Look at his shoulder pads compared to the players of today. So we take bigger, stronger, faster guys and get less padding. Yeah, that makes sense. So anyway, that's what Ohio State should look like. Here's what they looked like the other night when Nike put them in an abomination. The helmet was kind of pewter. The stripe was the size of Texas. More black, of course. The numbers were, it was just nonsense. Worse than that, UCLA. I think most people agree that's like the prettiest uniform in college sports.
Yes.
I mean, just a gorgeous, gorgeous uniform. So what do they wear at the Sun Bowl? They wear that monstrosity. That doesn't look, you would never guess that's UCLA.
No.
I mean, it's just hideous on every level.
Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yes, which are terrible. All right, let's look at the Fiesta Bowl here. Baylor in all black, no green on their uniform, which of course green is their primary school color, but they didn't wear green. All black and gold helmet. UCF, following the other side of that trend, get as white as you can be, so it's all black and all white. I'll point this out. Let's look at the Sugar Bowl. You didn't see this crap out of Alabama and Oklahoma, did you?
No.
I mean, those teams didn't have to do this. My question for you guys, is there ever a stopping point with any of this?
It sure doesn't look like it, does it?
No.
I mean, it started, obviously, in my book with Oregon and his spread, but it just looks like it's just getting worse and worse. And for UCLA to do that is ridiculous to me. That's like taking the very best uniform you could have in college and making it like somebody you don't even know who it is.
Yeah.
You know, all this stuff, I think, and I may be wrong, but I think it started with the NFL and their throwback uniforms 20-some-odd years ago. And I thought that was a neat idea. You go back and you put on something that you wore back. I mean, the Steelers are kind of hideous, and the Packers are hideous. Oh, I'm talking about the Packers' present uniforms. But, you know, that's where it kind of started, and it's gone off the rails. And it needs to stop because you lose track of who you're watching, in a sense.
But the thing is, it's Under Armour, it's Nike, it's Adidas. They're trying to sell extra jerseys. All these schools are looking for extra revenue. If you saw the Under Armour All-American game the other day, you saw one team that was in bright red that gradiated down to black. The other team was in this yellow that turned into gray. The team names weren't North, South, East, West. It was Highlight versus Team Nitro.
Yes.
And that's where the kids fall in love with it. But here's the thing. Tennessee broke out their gray, and we said, I think most of us agreed, you want to do that once, fine. That gray uniform looked okay. Then they did it again. And we found out that it was just, they acted like this was special to Tennessee. It was not. It was the exact same. It was the Nike template, the exact same gray that Texas A&M wore in other schools. Well, here's the thing. They made a big point of smoky gray was in our palette. Well, let's take a look at the University of Tennessee website here. All right, if you look at their website, you say our primary color is orange. Okay, good enough. And then you look also, here's where they get into the smoky gray. There's your palette, orange, white, smoky gray. But as you go down the page, you'll notice they have secondary colors as well, including Valley Green, Torch Orange Red, Globe Blue, and Limestone Off-White. And if you go further down there, you will find they have 17 colors, 9 different color schemes. In all, those colors include Sunsphere Yellow, River Blue, LeConte Reddish Purple, Rock, Regalia, Summit is a light blue, Legacy, Buckskin Brown, Switchgrass Green, and Eureka Yellow.
It sounds like you're getting ready to paint a kid's bedroom.
Well,
or
exactly. Well,
something,
the problem is, though, what I'm getting at is this idea that, well, we only trotted out that different uniform in gray because it's part of our palette. Well, there's not, the only color that's not in their palette is black, and they already wore that once in their Lane Kiffin. So this idea that it's only what's on our palette, they could come out there in lime green next year.
Has anybody ever seen them in any lime green anywhere?
On any
like
on
hot
anything.
blue? I can't say that I have.
No, a lot of that is for their what they do in web work, what they do in print ads. You can use this color scheme, that color scheme, this color scheme. But if you're going to your palette to say this is where the gray came from, which, let's face it, that has nothing to do with the palette. They wore it because it was different, because Adidas had a template made.
Stop it.
It just seems to
Just
lose some of the
stop
luster
it.
to say, let's go Valley Green.
Well, I mean, if they're going to stick to the palette, they've got more options than just smoky gray. That's the scary thing. What do you think they'll do next year? They wore the gray twice this year and lost in it both times. Do you think you see a different version of gray next year? Do you think you see the same gray? Do you think they shake it up, go black, silver? Because I don't think you're putting the genie back in the bottle. I think they're going to have one or two games a
I'm betting
year.
on a different gray.
A different gray?
Yeah, because it's all about different, and that's the whole idea.
I'm betting on a similar gray with a helmet that will match it. That'll be your change next year. You'll go with a different kind of
I
helmet.
think they have a gray helmet that they have not unveiled yet.
There you go. All right. We'll put that down, mark it down for next September.
Did I say stop it? I mean,
Yes.
they just need to just stop this.
It was cool. Once a year, fine with that. Hold your nose, good with it. But
Yeah.
don't do what the UCLAs of the world have done. Tennessee's got a unique uniform and unique color to begin with. There's no need to go do something else. All right. When we come back, we're going to talk about Charlie Strong, Bob Stoops, James Franklin, Bruce Pearl. Still got basketball to come. Come on back on the Richmond Sports Source.